no action taken, so we'll take a motion to adjourn.
I have.
Oh, you got something?
I would
Go
like to
ahead.
say.
Okay.
Okay. I'm all for the subdivision, I'm not saying I think it's great that we're trying to get our town to grow. I have a problem with, the engineers come to our meetings, committee meetings, it would have been better if this was presented at the committee meeting. We could have asked Darren questions even, had him involved, than us being put on the spot to make an $85,000 choice. Especially, we're wanting people to come to our town, and we've had people here tonight that have been living in this community that are to the point maybe where they would leave our town. We have, Donna, who's been here since June about her yard, her, and understandable, you know? And, you know, we keep saying, I mean, I'm not trying, we say we don't have this, we have to do this, check this, it's taken us 4 months. And then we're trying to make an $85,000 choice in 15 minutes. We have these people who come that cockroaches, which is a disease, that's health and safety, and basically, we still didn't do anything for them tonight. And then, there was another one that we've done, something else that was said tonight.
Those are good points, Kim.
Oh, our towns. Who wants to come to a town that is not clean? We've talked about that, how that house, the house that was her neighbor's is one of them, about how it looks and how bad it is. Then, you know, the situation tonight with just having the person move the camper. Looking at our town from the outside, I had someone come here that had never been here before, and one of the things they said to me, oh, you live in a poor town. And I'm like, what are you talking about, a poor town? And I'm like, we have some of the richest people, we have the best farmland. I'm like, that's not true about our town. But if you stop and look at it, and you drive around,
If you turn it Freedom Oil,
right there.
right there you got the
Yeah.
trailer and the,
It
Yeah,
just, I
it
mean,
does
that's why we
bad.
talked about it, I mean, the whole, I gave you that article, I mean, you know, fighting blight. I mean, how far and how much money do you want me to spend on having the attorney go after these properties?
Well,
I
I
mean,
don't,
like-
we can't, you know, and all of the roads are tore up now because of that, and then people in the community are gonna see us spending $85,000 on a road, because they're all talking about how no one's bought a lot there.
yeah.
Yeah, and the roads would be
And what do you
fixed,
think
but
they're
the.
gonna say, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to be
I
that
get, no, this is
mean.
what's gonna hurt me.
Same thing with I would have preferred it to be a better road out there than us,
Yeah.
but like I said, you know, rock, whenever you're gonna have that.
Mhm.
But everyone else in town already has basically a rock road.
I wonder how much of the blight is post-COVID with the housing and the pricing. I suspect we're not alone in this.
Now, we did have that company,
Oh, he's about the housing,
the housing,
housing authority,
the
yeah.
housing authority came and they did
Oh,
a
yeah.
study.
Oh, yeah.
And they
I
did a
almost got
complete-
shot over it.
They did a complete study of the entire town, and somewhere there's a thick book of recommendations.
That was the roofing one, because that's where we screwed up with the garbage contract, because we knew exactly how many houses were in town. And nobody remembered that, because I went out, that was actually my very first thing I did when I got appointed. I went out and took pictures until the guy came out with a shotgun and said, why are you taking a picture of my house?
Yeah.
And then I no longer took pictures of houses.
So
But-
in that study, I do remember the lady that her study was that Assumption does not have housing,
Yeah,
does
no,
not
we
have
don't.
affordable housing, and the housing that we do have is
Substandard.
substandard.
Yeah.
And so,
It's
so
kind of.
you have Grow Assumption, and this is our opportunity, and yes, it's not coming out exactly how we planned it, but we have to keep moving forward, but not.
But we
don't-
can't forget
we
the
don't-
people that already live in the community.
Right.
Those are 2 homes that are taken care of in this community. If they leave,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a very valid point.
who's gonna come in
Yeah, because who's gonna buy a house next to their?
to a house that has cockroaches?
And we.
I know, Tim, I have it next door to me, I
Right.
really have tried to get it, but you know, also, when I went up, you know, with the cars, when I went after people on the cars, they use, but you just said against me, we're a rural community, who cares? Get off your elitist attitude. You know, one guy, you know, like I said, F you, this is America. I got Remington down there at the end of the block who, Brian has been down there numerous times. I mean, some of these people, I mean, how do I put it delicately? They just don't care. And that's where we have to fix it. I mean, we're trying to, but unfortunately, when scumbags come in and buy properties like Riley House, you know, I'm fighting the guy at Lucky D's. I mean, a guy from Cuba, Illinois owns it, but he supposedly has this contractor that's down around here. I talked to him finally and I said, you're gonna start working on it. And then he was wishy-washy on a ton of stuff. I mean, I'm really, you know, trying, but I gotta tell you, there's a lot of pushback. There's people refusing. I mean, it's gonna be interesting how we do with this camper.
You just gotta start doing it by ordinance. I mean, you have the ordinance, you don't have to.
We
have to start
do.
following them.
I mean,
Our police are going to have to start enforcing things. You know, I would hate to lose people from this community that's lived here she's lived here for 32 years, you know, and she keeps her house care of. Same thing with Donna. She's
Yeah.
probably been here 32 years, you know, and she takes care of her house. You know, we don't wanna lose the people that take pride in their house and then still expect, because that's the people we want in our community.
yeah, you're right.
And we
you're
want
right.
the people to come in that can afford more as well. So we gotta make sure,
I wonder if like Decatur has basically a landlord registry, like where you.
Well, that was in that article, Springfield's got
Yes.
that.
Yeah,
that, you know.
they have to register, I
Yeah.
read that.
Yeah, it was in there,
The
yeah.
Because
landlord
maybe-
has gotta be registered at City Hall.
And they have to pay a fee every year, and if they don't, then they can't rent their property, basically. Maybe that,
Macomb has a annual inspection requirement too, so not only does the landlord have to, you know, register, but once a year, the city inspector goes out and makes sure the rental house is up to code, and if it's not, landlord and the tenant both get written up and.
That's a good idea.
Well, cause I think that's what we're gonna have to do at the end of the block.
I
With
think
Remington
it's-
not doing anything, I think we're gonna have to go after Mary.
I'm not sure that people in town realize how much property in town is rentals. I mean, there's three, just on my little block, there's like 6 houses on the whole thing. And half of those are rentals. So,
And that's a good way for the whole property values to go down, because the landlord doesn't care.
yeah.
You know, they're
Well,
gonna
this is,
rent and-
not to compare it to Decatur, I mean, but this is Decatur's problem. You literally have dozens of blocks of just,
Like,
yeah, just slumlord. I think maybe that's an ordinance that we need to seriously consider.
Well, I have already started the process of pulling together kind of local ordinances from other communities that I can put together and share with you all to see what you may like, what parts you like, what you don't. So if that sounds good, I'll
Yep.
continue that.
well, I think that will help with the selling of the new homes too. Because if you look at the homes that have been selling recently in our community, they've been over $200,000 homes.
Yeah, that's exactly right,
Yeah.
yeah.
We have a great school district.
Mhm.
People will want, and there are other towns, other communities that are not so great, and they're wanting to move their kids out of that school district. And we have the potential with our school district and with the housing, and if we get the other homes, you know, your appearance makes a difference.
I think one of the things too, a landlord type ordinance would also do is we can also, maybe you can speak if this is correct or not, we can also mandate that they have to have a valid address on file.
Yeah, at City Hall, yeah,
And
I
if
100%
nothing
agree with
else,
you.
when stuff like this happens,
Mhm.
we've got it, you know, we've got a way, so we don't have to play the tracking
Chase
somebody
them down.
down to where, no, we have to track the people who moved to what, West Virginia, the
Oh,
other
yeah,
house.
yeah, for that house.
We wasted 6 months trying to find one address, you know,
Yeah.
maybe a registry will shorten some of it.
I mean, like bond, no one's gonna find a vote for that guy.
And
you know,
That's
there's
the
just a lot
biggest
of things.
eyesore in town.
Yeah,
Bond.
oh, believe me, I
You
know.
said this was-
Yeah, no, I know. That's not gonna have to be something we're gonna have to just start addressing as bond, the old middle school.
Does that guy still answer his
From
phone?
elementary.
I don't have his phone number, I had the address, did you have his phone number, Janet?
He wasn't.
He wasn't answering, okay. Seems like I had the address, it's out of University Park,
I was
Illinois.
gonna say the phone number he had, I don't think's good anymore, because I know
Well, and
we had it at one time.
I do know, last I looked, the taxes was not paid, that was maybe a few weeks ago.
Didn't he leave the building like full of stuff?
Yeah, it's full of stuff, I peeked in the windows, there's a ton, we could have, if the city was to get it, we'd have a huge sale.
Bond taxes.
I'd say, just turn it over, well, I don't, yeah. Yeah, I know, but I know. We're gonna have to do something. We're gonna have to do something.
It wasn't done.
We really need to do something.
We do, so. All right. Are you done,
I think
Gary?
we're all on the same page.
We are on the same
All on the
page.
same page.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Kim was, you were the one talking, he asked me if I was.
Are you done? Are you
Kim was
done? Are
talking.
you done?
Well, I totally agree with the making the $85,000 decision in 15 minutes when that's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
what,
Yeah.
we're not experts in that. So can you get a hold of our street superintendent or our water person and get some feedback from them? I don't know,
I
I
can
don't
say
know how
s-
to make it
I can say-
85,000.
Well,
I can say something to Mark.
the only thing with that is, as many thousands of dollars as we're paying him, we shouldn't have to ask our street person for, that's what we're paying him.
Mark has always been excellent. That's why.
I mean,
I
yeah,
thought
I
he'd be
get it,
great.
but-
Yeah.
That's a tough one on us right now.
Our engineering costs are.
Well, we sign the sheet every month, we know.
Yeah. I signed the check. All right. She does it too. All right. Motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
You did. Get a second. All right. All those in favor say aye. Aye. The ayes have it. Adjourn.